Phyllis. Okay, so it's really interesting because after our conversation today, I've been basically seeing how my genius is showing up in people. And with Pamela, it literally a new version of it came out today, which was freaking awesome because I had my first session with her today. And what I realized is that so here's how it works for business. Um, what I realized is that I know exactly what brand identity the person needs to embrace in order to attract their next high level clients. Literally, that's how it works. As I started to talk to Pamela about what she was doing and all that stuff, I started to express how people I started to channel how people are relating to her, people in her audience, people, her prospects, her clients, how they see her, and how to use that to her advantage so that she can get what she wants and she can help them get the transformations that she wants. And that includes how she needs to show up in her discovery calls, her client calls, in her lives, in her marketing, in her brand, the tone that she needs to hold, the parts of herself that she needs to embrace more of, what she needs to do in order to do that. Like that's literally what our session was about. um I caught myself, so here's what I did. I caught myself trying to mimic you, where I was trying to do exactly what you did for me, and it did not work, obviously, because that's not my genius. And then when I fully got settled into my genius and I started just thinking about how people relate to her, like it literally, like it was just unlocked. Like I started channeling, I was like, yeah, this is how people think about you, this is how they see you, da 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 da. And she was like, oh my God, that's so true. People tell me that all the time, and I'm like, why do you think of me that way? Da 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 da. Like, is that like what am I doing to make people think of me that way? And blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's just how they see you. Like that is how they need to relate to you in order to be activated, in order to get their transformation. So went there at a way deeper level than I have ever been before, which is really fucking awesome because we literally laid out a brand identity that she can start diving into, and the next the next level brand basically that she needs to be, the next level of leader she needs to be, and where she needs to own who she already is at a deeper level to be that kind of person. For example, for her, I realized that she needs to be more selfish and actually more boastful in her marketing in order to attract who she needs to be. And she's like, oh my God, yeah, you told me that the other day and I made a post about that. And somebody from high school messaged me saying, oh my God, I need to work with you. And like, yeah, this is what you need to keep doing, because the more you own it, the more messages like that you'll get. So here's how I believe my genius shows up. So the first thing I do is I look at all the ways that people are relating to other people in their lives. And I look at the relationships that are not working for whatever reason. And I know that it's not about the people, and it's about them. And it's about how they see themselves, because they're a direct reflection of them, right? So I ask them what they want from those specific people. What do you want from your dad? What do you want from your mom? What do you want from your clients, your prospects, your boss, your whatever, your coworkers? What do you want? They tell me what they want, and I ask them why they think they can't have it. And the hilarious thing is, they go into how those people are this or those people are that, or da 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 da. Like, people are never gonna do this person will never do that because they're narcissistic. This person will never go for this because whatever reason. My Chris does that. He's having a problem in his job right now where he makes like his only way to make an income is off of commissions, off of the sales that he makes. And this company has started a new rule which limits the way that he can make his sales. And he doesn't agree with it. He thinks it's complete bullshit. He wants to do it his way, but he's not able to. He's not allowed to. And I told him, well, why don't you talk to the person who made these rules? Because he's the only person who can change them. So why don't you talk to him, and instead of complaining, share your point of view, express that, and so you can get your results. And he goes, no, I can't do that. He'll never go for it. Like, I'm just this. I'm just like, he goes, I just started the job, and I like, why would he change an entire policy for me? Like, out of all the things, da 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 da. And what I'm seeing, what I was able to see is that the problem isn't the boss. The problem isn't even the situation. What's actually happening for him is that, because like, he could easily, like, to me, this the answer is simple: just talk to the person in charge. But he sees himself as lesser than. He doesn't see himself as worth that. And because of that, there's a deep-seated issue of self-worth that actually needs to be addressed, because he doesn't believe that his opinions and his ideas matter, and he doesn't believe in those ideas. He isn't going to stand up for them. He'll never stand up for them because he doesn't believe in them. And that's what, like, I've learned based on the way he's relating to the boss, the head of the company, who he doesn't actually even know. So it's like, it's just his perception of it. So that is how my genius works. I ask people about how, what they think of the people in their lives, or people who aren't even in their lives. Because, okay, so here's what just came up for me. So for me, for example, when I felt threatened by our president, I saw him a certain way. I was like, he's stupid, he's this, he's racist, he's that, he's blah 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 blah. Like, I passed all kinds of judgments on him when I felt threatened by him as a black immigrant woman. um, now that I have a stronger sense of self, and I understand that I create my reality and nobody outside of me dictates what gets to happen to me, now that I understand that, I don't find him so threatening. Like, he has his views, and I don't agree with them, but I do not judge him or shame him for his views or his perceived perceptions of, minorities. Like, I'm just kind of like, his actions are whack, like, whatever, but I'm not like, I'm not as invested or as threatened by him as most people with my background are. And it's the same, like, it's just the same thing with, like, so many different people, so many different things. And so that's how my genius works. My genius targets how I relate to people, or how other people relate to people. And based on that, it's like, well, why is this happening? What is it about you that is coming up for you? And another thing that I just realized is, back to that story of me when I was 15, when I decided to turn my life around. The true problem that I felt like I needed to change in myself was actually my love for myself, and putting myself first above others. That was the issue. Because what happened was, um, I I I valued what other people had to say about me more than I valued what I thought about myself. And because of that, I actually did not care for myself at all. I didn't care for myself. I didn't love myself at all. And so that would show up where I would do very, very careless things and very risky things, even though I didn't actually want to do it. So the situation with my parents, where they ended up, like, that night they were going to send me to Haiti because of something that I did, I didn't give a fuck what was going to happen to me. And that bothered me. And so I had that conversation with myself. These people have the power to take all of this away from you, and all your comforts and all that stuff, and you don't care. Why is that? And the answers startled me. The answers I got startled me, because it was like, oh, like, well, if it gets that bad, we can just kill ourselves, or like, stuff like that. Like, that was like self talk that was going on. And so I understand. My genius understands that the way that people see other people is actually the way they're talking to themselves about themselves. And what I know about humans is that it's very difficult for them to own that, for you to own how you're talking to yourself about yourself, how you actually see yourself. And the best way to do that is by using other humans as their mirrors, as their reflections, as a reflector. And how, like, to confirm what you said about me going through that shit and turning it into gold, what I do with my clients is that, as I see, as I'm able to see all the shit like as we dig through all the shit, the self-worth shit, like all of that other shit, the deeper levels of that, they're able to truly see who they are, like actually see who they are. Because if they see other people this way, if they see other people this way, that means they're seeing themselves this way. And that means that they're not actually seeing their true selves. And if you cannot see your true self, you cannot express your true self. And what happens, and I explained this in the video, the first video that I did that was super long, what happens is when you see your true self and you're able to express your true self, like unapologetically, without any of that crap on top of it, which is like, that's actually the gold. When you're able to see it, own it, that's important too, and then express it, what happens is your magnetic, like there's like this magnetism around you, like you're the center of it, like you're the center of gravity of your universe. And what happens is it expands, and your magnetism just expands, and it grows bigger and it grows stronger. And the people who you need to attract, who you want to attract, who the new people who will reflect that version of yourself will naturally gravitate towards you, because that's just what it is. And the people who do not reflect that part of yourself, who are no longer in integrity with this piece of yourself, they naturally fall away. And I think I believe what I do with my clients is I do that for their clients, for them to get the deeper level of understanding. They understand themselves more deeply, which helps them understand others more deeply, which helps them relate to others more deeply, which helps them attract the people that they want at a deeper level. And here's the other thing I realized when I was talking to Pamela. So I was telling her all this stuff about her genius and all that stuff and how it relates to people and blah 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 blah. And she was like, "Oh my God, that has literally been my deepest desire." And this is what I feel like my clients, like my high level clients want, especially my one-on-one clients. They don't want to learn how to deal, they don't need to learn how to deal with their fears or how to change their mindset or how to get clients and all that stuff. They want to understand how and why their shit works. Like why it works, so that they can explain it to other people, so those people can get it, and so they can get things, they can sell more easily and they can market more easily. Because what really happens when they understand their genius a lot more deeply is they can, not their genius, but themselves. It's not even just their genius, but themselves and how they relate to people. What happens is they're able to, when they're able to understand that more deeply, they're able to own it. When they're able to see it, the thing is they don't see it. Like they know that what they're doing works. They know that like they're able to help people. They know that. But they haven't really like fully seen, they don't really see themselves, truly see themselves as deeply as they should. And so what ends up happening is, because they don't see it, they don't own it. And because they don't own it, they don't express it. Like it goes back to like seeing, owning, expressing. Like that's literally it. See it, own it, express it. And because they don't do that, excuse me, they actually cannot create the deep transformation in their clients and in their audience. I think the thing is, it's not even about clients specifically, it's about their audience for them. Like it's not their thing, like yeah, they want higher level clients and that's important to them, but what they really want is to transform the masses. And they can't do that. They literally cannot do it until they've owned that part of themselves, because they've done it with one-on-one, they've done it in group programs, in group settings, which is amazing and it's awesome. They've pretty much mastered that version, but they haven't truly mastered transforming the masses. They may have mastered selling and marketing to the masses, but they haven't mastered transforming transforming the masses, which is what they really deeply want to do. They want to be able to have thousands of people who follow them and actually transform. They want to be able to go on a podcast or a book or like to speak and transform people that way, and they're not doing it. They're not doing it at the level that they want to be doing it. So wow. So I feel like though those are the people, because they're not relating. It's very difficult for them to relate to thousands, millions, billions of strangers at that level, at a deep enough level to transform them. Form them. It's very difficult for them to grasp it, to grasp doing it, and the reason isn't because like that's just too many people at once to do, which is what they're probably thinking. It's like like I just can't do it with that many people, or that's just not how that works, or whatever. The actual issue is that they don't know themselves intimately enough to create an intimate enough connection with thousands, millions, billions of people so that they can be the catalyst in that transformation and that change. So that's what I understand from it. Let me know what you think. I just had some deep realizations just now too as I expressed that. So let me know what you think of that.